Well, I'm pleased to report to you that Daredevil Born Again is not written by stupid people. The first scene of this show absolutely blew me away. It's really amazing what you can do when you have credentialed, talented creatives who do not include as a large part of their diet lead-based glue. Such as the writers of Echo, The Marvels, Secret Invasion, Ahsoka, The Acolyte, Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Book of Boba Fett, Willow, Madam Web, Morbius, Craven. If I had raced to the camera right after the first scene in this show, I would have told you, holy shit, we are back. This show is awesome. It is awesome. But somehow everything after that first scene is just a little too slow, a little too low stakes, a little too slow burn, and it doesn't feel like it should be. I am Captain Garrett of Swords and Starships on our continuing mission to seek out bold characters, beautiful worlds, and truth in art. I love the Daredevil Netflix series. It's just one of my favorite TV shows ever. It was so brilliant. When the opening scene starts with Daredevil Born Again, there's this very overbearing, manipulative score that immediately telegraphed that something was going to go wrong, that a tragedy was about to strike, and that bothered me because I thought, why is the music being so manipulative here? In the fashion of the first show, a series of events unfolded which resulted in this long, clever, brilliant, engrossing action scene with just astronomical emotional stakes. Even though I loved the visuals of what was happening, I have no idea why the CGI is so bad. Worse than the CGI from The Matrix Reloaded. I remember seeing The Matrix Reloaded 20 years ago and thinking, wow, Neo looks like a video game character. That being said, what's happening in a story-driven sense is haunting, and I pretty much loved it. The opening event explores a tragedy which convinced Matt Murdock to hang up the cowl. I actually really love the basis for this. I think the tragedy and then combined with his reaction to it made a lot of sense for the character and why he decides not to be Daredevil, and it does give him a great place to go as a character, so I was very excited about all of that. Less so about the fact that Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, which I love and is one of my all-time favorite comic book adapted characters ever, admits that the events of Hawkeye and Echo are canon. Stuff like this. Mercifully, however, he only mentions it very briefly and in passing, and it's not a major plot point of the show, so thank God for that. Born Again really stands out from the rest of the MCU because right off the bat, it's very character-driven storytelling, it's very grounded, it's very gritty, it has a sense of reality, verisimilitude. That would be the snooty critic's term for truth. Truth in art, as is our mission to seek out. It's really amazing what you can accomplish in a TV show when you have competent writers who can actually write a character arc, who can actually create characters that have more depth and complexity than an archetype, such as the characters in Skeleton Crew, where you have Cowardly Kid.
Wham, do something!
And Adventurous Kid.
My own Jedi Temple!
And Bossy Kid.
Whatever it is, don't touch it.
And Smart Nerdy Kid.
Baby, how do you find that thing? Oh, I have a little help.
These are archetypes, not characters. You've got Kingpin, who is trying to disassociate himself from the trappings of crime and become the mayor of New York. Why? It's not really clear. What does he actually want? I have no idea. I really am thrilled to see Matt Murdock finally be a lawyer with an actual functional law firm and an actual reputation. I mean, that's pretty awesome. But we're 2 episodes in, and I gotta tell you, not a whole lot has happened. Much of the show is consumed with the drama of the Kingpin basically being a demagogue who is a populist candidate in the city, and how stupid the New York electorate are for electing a mayor who promises to end crime where every other mayor has failed. I really can't quite buy this idea of the Kingpin as this charismatic candidate. I mean, yes, he's a charismatic villain, but if I'm supposed to believe that the people within this world actually are excited by him, he's not exactly the most charismatic candidate ever.
Thank you, New York. Vanessa and I, we offer our deepest regards.
This might be a slight spoiler, so just be aware. A man tries to intervene in the subway when he sees two men beating up a third, and this guy is clearly just getting absolutely beat into the dirt, and this guy tries to break it up. He accidentally kills a police officer. This results in him being falsely accused of being a cold-blooded cop killer when really it was an accident, and he was acting in defense of this guy he thought was being attacked, and Matt Murdock winds up taking the case pro bono. What I love about this is it definitely captures the heart and soul of the Matt Murdock character, and it shows the real difficulty he has with doing things the right way this time. I just can't help but feel with this show that it suffers from the same glacial pace as every other D+ series. I hate to say it, but this is probably the best thing Marvel has produced since Spider-Man No Way Home. It is certainly so far the best opening to a TV show Marvel or Disney Plus, quite frankly, has ever produced. This is clearly written by people that have something to say. They have actual drama to allow to unfold. So why am I not more excited? So why is this not quite pulling me in? Everything in this show is setup for setup for setup. There's just an awful lot of supporting characters for both Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock who are constantly telling them what they can't do, and it has a really annoying, nagging energy. The clearest thing missing is a sense of what the hell is the Kingpin after? And it's not that I have to know his whole plan, but I've got to have some sense of why this would even benefit him. It's not clear what damage he's going to do to the city other than turning people against vigilantes, which the fact that Matt Murdock himself has given up being a vigilante isn't even that big of a deal. Basically, all we have to go on as an audience is Matt Murdock has a vague suspicion that the Kingpin has not changed and is just as evil as ever and therefore must be stopped. And certainly he's going to do something bad. And to an extent, yes, we, the audience, can go along with that. But the problem is I don't actually have a real sense of peril for the city. And I think that's the real thing that's missing here. Where is the battle? Where is the villain and the hero at cross purposes? Where is the suggestion that bad things are on the horizon? We are 2 episodes in. I think in the second episode, we need a clear reveal of danger for the city. And really all we're getting is the threat of a possible police strike, or the police turning against the mayor, which since he's evil should be a good thing, but also the police are filled with a bunch of corrupt cops, so that actually tends to make Wilson Fisk seem like he's on the side of good, and it's not even clear whose side I should take. Should I take the side of the dirty cops that aren't helping the city, or should I take the side of scheming Machiavellian mobster who clearly hasn't truly reformed, but whose plan I'm actually not even clear on? The tension in this show is mild to tepid at best, and that's the problem with it. Tepid for Matt, tepid for the Kingpin. Then I'll tell you something truly epic about that first scene. Bullseye. That's what this show needs. This show needs Bullseye in episode 2, if not episode 1, like immediately. A slow burn is one thing. Breaking Bad was a slow burn, but it was never slow because every single episode told one self-contained story that was riveting and you could not take your eyes off of. Great TV series can do that. Why is that so hard for Marvel shows, Star Wars shows? And frankly, most of the shows are like this. Taylor Sheridan might be the only modern storyteller right now that can tell a really good single episode story within a long form art. He's brilliant at it. He does this with Landman. He does this with Tulsa King. He's a master at that. Daredevil Born Again, grounded, gritty, well acted. It does feel like it's paying homage to the characters, and those are all points in the positive column. In the negative column, somewhat low stakes, I could do without any more of the annoying podcast. I could really do without the podcast in the world. For the moment, episodes 1 and 2 of Daredevil Born Again, Heaven's Half Hour, and Optics. I'm going to give them 7 out of 10 bars on the epaulets. I want to see something on the level of that hallway scene, and I definitely want to see more Bullseye, and I want to see the Kingpin be the freaking Kingpin. And I will be watching and reviewing the next episodes of Daredevil Born Again. So that is my review. And if you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe. I am Captain Garrett of Swords and Starships, and our mission will continue with you aboard. And until next time, I will see you out there.